All right, guys, what do we see today?
Zombieland Double Tap.
Let's talk about Zombieland.
Yeah, let's talk about the first Zombieland.
So Zombieland came out in 2009.
10 years ago.
Yeah, whole decade. We've all seen Zombieland, I hope.
The last time I saw Zombieland was 2010.
Last time I saw Zombieland was probably like 2014.
When it came out.
Mm-hmm. What do we think of Zombieland?
Don't remember much of it, but I remember liking it.
Yeah, this isn't our normal type of sequel review where we'll watch like the original movies.
I wanted to watch it today.
I wanted to watch it, but we didn't have time. Plus, it's not like Shaft, where we haven't seen the movie come out in 1971.
Yeah.
Come on, I remember Zombieland enough that I didn't feel like we needed to rewatch it.
Understandable.
So, with that in mind, what would you give Zombieland?
First one?
First one.
About an 8. I really like it from what I
I'd
remember.
give it an 8 or a 9.
Yeah, I'd
That
say
movie's
7 or an
fucking
8 from what I
phenomenal.
remember. I'd have to watch it again to give it like a more concrete score.
Score.
But
Really liked it.
yeah.
So, Zombieland Double Tap.
Yes.
Oh my god. What were our expectations going in?
I liked the trailer a lot.
Oh my god.
I thought the trailer was great.
You have been talking nonstop about that. Hi, my name's Tallahassee.
It's so good because it's when you watch a trailer so many times. We saw the trailer for Zombieland quite a bit.
Yeah,
sometimes the jokes are like, it's a little stale. Like the Rosie O'Donnell joke in the Deadpool trailer, which wasn't funny to begin with. When you know Tallahassee's character from the first movie, that moment is just like, that's so good.
Yeah.
So I liked it. I even laughed in the theater when it fucking happened.
I gave a good chuckle at it. It's so funny in context.
I liked the trailer, so I was like, this is going to be
I like that the movie didn't give away its best jokes.
Oh, yep.
Absolutely.
I still had some really good laughs in that theater. And the audience, I think the audience we saw this with was pretty good, aside from that one dude who was like screaming in the front row every time something happened.
Yeah, but it was even then that it wasn't often enough where it was annoying, and you could tell that he was just having a fucking blast. So like, I give power to him. You know what I mean?
He was also probably a little drunk
or high,
or
one
disabled.
of the two
He
things.
was something because like Tallahassee was like, it's time to nut up or shut up, and him down the front row, he's like, oh yeah.
The theater is dead silent. He's like the only guy.
No
one reacts, and he's just like, hell yeah.
He was so happy.
It was so funny.
It was good.
Maybe Zombieland was his favorite movie. We don't know.
I think I literally thought in that moment, all right, so this guy's favorite movie is Zombieland.
Deadass. It must be. Honestly, that makes total sense because overall, this movie is a worthy follow-up to Zombieland.
100%.
I would say it's overworthy. I fucking loved it.
Same. This movie, I think, might be better than Zombieland.
I would tend to agree. I'd have to rewatch Zombieland, like I said.
Yeah.
But tentatively, I fucking enjoyed myself thoroughly.
I was laughing in the theater so goddamn much. Yeah, I can't talk about how good this movie is. You guys got to go see this.
So we're gonna go see negatives first.
Negatives first. The plot in the middle can get a little stale.
Okay.
Like the introduction of, I think it was Albuquerque and Flagstaff.
Yep.
The clones of Tallahassee and Columbus. Yeah. So they show up, they have a funny scene, and then they die. Now, in the context of the movie, what had just happened was Madison showed up, had a couple funny scenes, and then supposedly died.
Yeah.
Now, Madison comes back, but in that moment, that 1-2 repetition, suddenly I'm thinking, is this just going to be like House of Dracula, where it's a vignette? Like every 10 minutes.
Yep. Yeah. It's like a recycled vaudeville shit.
Yeah. Oh, they met someone funny. Oh, they're so kooky. Bam, they're dead. Moving on.
Yeah. But it subverted the expectation.
It subverted the expectation.
Right after that, actually.
Madison came back,
but...
and Nevada, Rosario Dawson's character, who's in the scene, also comes back. But it was in that moment where I was like...
Well, I mean, we're touching on one of my bigger actually, probably my biggest possible negative. You said stale. I would say predictable. I'd say like halfway through the movie... when people when Luke Wilson and Thomas Middleditch start dying. First of all, when he did the double shot off screen without even like shooting the gun, like we never saw either of those shots, and walks back and he's like, "I'm gonna be a man. I did it. I took care of it." Like, no, if he was serious about that, and the movie would have shown him, it didn't. So I know that she's either like limping around still a zombie, and that'll be a plot point later or whatever. But then Luke Wilson and then Middleditch die, and then they leave the monster truck that they. Like, at least one of them can at least try and learn how to drive instead of that terrible minivan everyone hates. And they just drive away from it, and I'm thinking, like, wow, Rosario Dawson's, like, barely in this movie. There's no way they're going to waste Luke Wilson and Thomas Middleditch and Rosario Dawson. She's going to come back with the monster truck and more guns to the pacifist village. And then the two things that I said, they're probably going to do, they probably did.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm not, like, that's not even a clairvoyant point on my part. I don't really see the plot as, like...
It was very predictable, but at the same time... I don't really go to see Zombieland for the plot twists.
Fair.
But I get where you're coming from, where there's a difference between being predictable, like, in the sense of it's not trying to surprise you, and being predictable in the sense of, like...
It tried to surprise you.
It's trying to surprise you.
It tried to pull the rug out from under you with the Madison coming back thing. Like, it tried to imply that she's dead definitively with no, like, inkling that she's going to come back. But I don't know. Like, if they wanted her dead, they would have shown her dead.
If they could have framed it better where, like, you actually see that Columbus pussies out. And then he goes back and he's like, yep, totally did it. And then you'd be like, oh, well, she's going to come back. And then when she does, it would be more interesting to see that she's alive.
Yeah, the reaction of the other
would have been different. I think it would have been better if we saw that Columbus missed his shot. And it's like, oh, she's going to come back as, like, this, like, alpha-level zombie.
Yeah, what if she's a T-800?
You'd think, oh, she's going to come back and, like, lead the horde that fights them at the end of the movie. So it'd be more surprising when she comes back and she's alive. Mm-hmm. So I get where you're going with that. So I would definitely chalk that up to a minor negative.
It was more minor for me because the plot mostly was fine. I didn't hate most of it. Those little predictable moments, I'm like, oh, that's predictable, but I'm having fun, so it doesn't detract it.
Don't know what nut allergy would give you the exact same symptoms that turning into a zombie does in this universe.
I got this. I know this one, actually. So you see, it's a very rare one called plot convenience.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It does not exist.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe in the 10 years that this movie came out and didn't, even though it takes place chronologically, like, immediately after the last one ended.
No, definitely a while later, because Little Rock's celebrating her 18th birthday in the movie.
But they were driving to the White House at the end of the last one, right?
I don't think so. I don't remember the
exact specifics. Because that trip's only a few days.
But in the movie, Little Rock says the apocalypse started when she was 11, and in the movie she celebrates her 18th birthday. So it's been at least 7 years.
But I don't think that first Zombieland was at the start of the apocalypse. It was shortly after, but it was like a few years after. I don't know.
I think it may have been a year into it, but it definitely wasn't.
Doesn't matter enough to look into. But in any case,
if it was only like a year, Jesus Christ, Abigail Breslin went through puberty like that.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Like, the actors have all aged 10 years. So.
Which is funny because I don't really think they look like they
The actors have aged 10 years. Jesse Eisenberg and Emma Stone both look almost the same.
So does Woody Harrelson. He's been old for forever.
He's been old for 10 years.
The only one who looks different is Abigail Breslin, who went from, like, standing at their stomach to being, like, eye level with them.
Exactly.
You know?
I forgot she was a character in the first one because I didn't realize that, oh, yeah, she's a completely different height and age now.
Yeah.
Everyone else looked the same.
Character. Yep.
Yeah.
No, I get it.
That's funny.
I'm pretty sure she also had brown hair in the first movie, so she might have, like, dyed it in the apocalypse.
It's been a while since I've seen Zombieland, so.
Same.
Point is, I really enjoyed this movie, and I liked it had
so much fun.
Are we going to go to positives now? Because I want to talk about the good stuff.
I want to talk about the way they incorporated the rules on screen. Holy shit.
Oh!
Dude. Rule number 4, seatbelts.
Hit me with the Scott Pilgrim vibes of the fucking cool graphic shit coming up on the screen. I love that. Mm-hmm. So much.
Yeah.
Not be afraid of bathrooms. The world is your bathroom. The fucking M's starting taking a piss every... Oh, yes. Yes.
The commandment dick measuring contest was great, and then it cuts to a wide shot and all the letters are just on the ground.
It's so good. The opening title sequence, when all the stuff was interacting with the fucking words and knocking it all over.
They used Master of Puppets in this movie. I remember this very distinctly. The first movie opens with Whom the Bell Tolls.
Yes, it does.
For Whom the Bell Tolls.
You're correct.
Both by Metallica.
Gave me flashbacks.
I was like, that is a good through line
little callback.
Yep. A great callback.
But I'm very glad you mentioned the words thing, because that was the first thing I was going to talk about.
Yeah, they did that very creatively in this movie.
Good visual things like that. It was so nice.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that. I think the scene with Middleditch and Jesse Eisenberg went on a little too long with just like their Jesse Eisenberg impressions to each other.
Yeah.
So,
I agree. It dragged on for maybe like 30 seconds too long, and I was like, okay, I get it.
But I didn't hate... There were a lot of parts that I thought I would hate, like an entire pacifist village in the zombie apocalypse. It's a little unrealistic. Like, come on, it's a zombie apocalypse. They should all be dead. But the way they did it, pulled it off pretty well.
Yeah,
I'd say for what it was. Like, I think it really hit its stride.
I have literally the most minor nitpick because this is how far into the barrel I have to scrape to talk about things I didn't like in this movie. Berkeley refers to himself and Little Rock as Gen Z, which they are. Problem. The apocalypse started in 2009, therefore Gen Z is an anachronistic term because that only emerged in the last couple years.
Well, maybe in the context of the apocalypse, there were still scholarly studies regarding the generational gaps.
Or I just thought of this. They're the generation that encountered the zombie apocalypse. They're Gen Z. Gen Zombie.
Unrelated to actual Gen Z.
Really funny.
All right, my minor nitpick just made the movie better.
Boom, done. Yeah.
So
that's my headcanon.
Jesse Eisenberg's over-narration, didn't hate it. Gave the movie character because I like Jesse Eisenberg's character.
It was better inserted because it's the same meta as Robert Downey Jr.
Kiss, kiss, bang, bang.
Kiss, bang, bang. I don't know why I almost said
Kiss,
burn
kiss,
after
double
reading.
tap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where like Jesse Eisenberg doesn't stop the movie and go, "Wow, that was a weird scene, right? Maybe it'll come back
Yes,
later."
it was all the parts of that I didn't hate, but enhancing, and I actually liked it.
I enjoyed it.
Not a big over narration guy. We all know this.
Yes.
So the fact that I liked it.
I think it was because it was the guys that wrote Deadpool. We bring up Deadpool a lot in this show, but
Yeah.
it's definitely that same kind of meta humor carrying over into this movie.
Yeah.
It's not distracting or disruptive. It's actually
enhancing the movie.
nice. Yeah.
It did. I think it enhanced the movie greatly.
The
It's a really
characters in
fine
this
line to
movie.
walk too.
Yeah. No, this could have been a very bad movie.
Agreed.
Like 10-year later sequel to a good but very much standalone zombie comedy movie.
Yeah.
That really could have been,
Atrocious.
but it was not.
Like
They-
there's a line at the beginning where he's like, "Wow, you picked us. There's a lot of zombie content in the market," and I'm like, "Not anymore, Chief. Like there used to be.
died out.
It's all gone. This is like the only one now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
What was the
but
last one?
They waited for everyone to be dead.
The last one was like Warm Bodies. That was like almost.
2009.
Yeah.
That was also 2009, wasn't it?
All I
Yeah.
can say is,
I mean, Walking Dead isn't relevant anymore.
Yeah, Walking Dead hasn't been relevant for years.
Everyone I know who watched it has dropped off at certain points.
Yeah.
It was
Yep,
wicked fun.
I dropped off in season 6.
I think 6, 7, halfway through the Negan season, I dropped off.
That was sick. I don't remember.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It was. Oh, speaking of The Walking Dead, there's a shot of Jesse Eisenberg reading a Walking Dead comic.
That was
book.
a good. There are so many good jokes in this movie.
There were so many good jokes.
The comedy in this movie is on point.
They wrote it very.
There are
well.
very, very few things where I'm like, oh, that's just not funny.
The tagline, or the marketing for the poster was from the director of Venom and the writers of Deadpool. I think that is a really accurate way to describe this movie. Is a little bit of Venom and a little bit of Deadpool.
It's
You
the
definitely
good parts of Venom, though. 'Cause
Yeah.
Engaging action.
exact
And then
engaging
the good
action.
parts of Deadpool, which is just the fun,
fun-
witty, quick
And
dialogue.
the good writing.
It definitely
good
feels
goddamn
like a
writing.
movie
Yeah.
in that vein. You know what I mean?
Agreed. I really, really like the characters in this movie stemming off of their first ones. Woody Harrelson, fucking awesome. I love Woody Harrelson so much in this movie.
He
Tallahassee, good character. Jesse Eisenberg, great character. Do love me some Jesse Eisenberg in most movies that he's in.
He really captured his character perfectly. That just like bumbling, awkward kind of guy. But you know what? I believe that all of these characters would survive the zombie apocalypse.
I agree.
Because like I feel like in a lot of zombie mediums, there's that one character who sticks around too long, just for the idea of they shouldn't survive. But it's more for the narrative than for like actual storytelling. Where you're like, no, this guy would have died.
Yep.
And the only reason they're still around is so that you can have people going, he should have died by now. Jesse Eisenberg, Woody Harrelson, Emma Stone, Abigail Breslin, all of them, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
You could all survive, especially together.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jesse Eisenberg particularly, he might be the dumb bumbling idiot type, but he is so fucking paranoid and all the rules that you're like, no, he would be super... Case your surroundings. He's legitimately like that, like hyper, like...
Barry, you need to case your surroundings.
Yeah. Like, he is that hyper paranoid...
He's got that
Dweeb.
high tension.
Yeah. Like, where he's just like, all right, time to fucking live. And it's very realistic.
Very.
I feel like he would be the one character out of the few that you'd be thinking the most of that would die. Because everyone else is badass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Woody Harrelson's badass. Emma Stone, badass. Abigail Breslin, in the
Bad.
first one, 12, but badass.
She was badass in both movies.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's good to have the character that's not the big badass, too. Because when you have a lot of characters who are all, like, hardcore survivalists in one sense, you kind of miss out on any form of conflict dynamic.
I don't really know if I have anything much less.
I don't really have
else
anything
to
else
add.
to say other than go see Zombieland Double Tap.
Go, yeah, 100%.
Oh my god, alright, hang on. Post-credit scene with Bill
Yes!
fucking Murray.
Now we're talking.
Holy
He is-
fuck!
he-
It's Bill Murray beating the shit out of people while doing an interview for Garfield 3. And he has the best line. Why'd you do it? Can this be between us? Yeah.
Drugs
cost money.
Drugs cost money. I was like, oh, this is a good movie. And then that happened, and I'm like, oh, this is a good movie.
It's a great movie.
Like, there are a lot of scenes in a movie that you go, yeah, you know what? I like this one. Really good way to end the movie.
Oh my
Great
God.
nod.
So
Oh.
good.
Plus, a third Garfield movie? Yes, please.
Never please.
You didn't like Garfield?
Shut up. Alright, so I guess that's the end of the review. So, guys, out of 10.
I gave the first one an 8. I'll give this one an 8. I think it's on par.
I think it's a little bit better. I'll have to go with a 9.
I think I gotta give it a 10.
Mud.
Ooh.
Hot take.
Oh my god.
No
I enjoyed
negatives.
this movie.
I would have to watch it again
Yeah.
before I did that
Yeah.
very
Like-
tentatively.
I I
was
am
great.
a little apprehensive. I'm not feeling as strongly about this 10 as I felt about Lego 2V. I really can't think of much that I say detracts from it. You know? Even the whole predictable plot doesn't bother me. I can watch a movie with a predictable plot.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
But no, it's really interesting that you feel that way. I don't know if I'd yeet it a 10 on first watch, though. That's must
I
have
don't
really
know.
struck
I'm
a
not
chord.
feeling too confident, but I got to go with my gut. My gut's telling me 10.
All right, well, I guess that'll do it.
All
Yeah,
right?
no. We will see you guys next time for...
Either the current war director's cut or Terminator Dark Fate.
Shut the fuck up.